Hello. Well, today I'm going to show you how you can make mini pies. We don't have people over as much. We're old, and but I do take treats places. So these little mini pies really work well. Let me show you. This is a tiny, tiny little pie tin. This is slightly bigger. I do both of them, but when I'm taking it to a potluck, I make the littler ones, and I get these on Amazon. So I will bake them in this, and then I can remove them when I serve them. Now you'll notice I have sprayed them. Believe me, it makes the pie coming out a lot easier, and the bottom gets done better. Here are my ingredients. I have almost 2 cups of peaches. They're frozen. I freeze them in slices, put them on a cookie sheet, and then when they're frozen, I put them into bags. Now I want you to notice the bag that I'm using. I'm using several of these. 2017, and they are fine. I freeze them, I wash them when I'm done, and then I vacuum seal them, and they keep so well. I don't know how I missed those. 2017. Now here's an example of the little pies. This apple I had to taste to make sure it was good, but see, it's just a nice for a couple bites. And here is blueberry. Now I baked these from a frozen state, 375 for 33 minutes. I thought I'd get the exact amount for you. Yeah, no, they come out great. See, the bottom is nice and tan. They hold in the hand, and there are a couple bites for one person. I'm going to make the ingredients that go over the peaches. Now the peaches are I might drain them a little, quite wet. This is my pie dough. This is what goes on the peaches. Now I use the same formula for peaches, for blueberries. My apple is slightly different, but I use this for cherries. It'll be in the description below. I have here 3/4 cup of sugar. And in here I have 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon salt. I'll put that in. This is 5 tablespoons cornstarch. Now I use 5 tablespoons of cornstarch because I found out in my old age that it's better than the flour. The flour, it can be kind of pasty, but the cornstarch is really good. So I'm just going to mix this together. And this is what I will put on the peaches. And for this recipe, I usually use 2 cups of fruit. But I don't like it so sweet, so usually I don't use as much, but you do what you want. Okay, I'm going to drain these a little. I should have drank that peach juice. Woof. Okay. Let me see how coated they are. I can do a little more. You could actually even taste them to see if it's the sweetness you want, but this is what I'm going to do. I've used maybe 3/4 of it, 2/3 of it, and actually I can put that in a baggie and use it another time. I've had a cold, so I'm going to try to keep my coughing down. Now I've made this pie dough recipe many times. I have a whole video on it. It's my mom's pie dough recipe. There's 2 cups of flour in here, 1/2 cup of oil. I happen to be using canola, and not quite a 1/2 cup of milk. Let's see what we have here. It might be too stiff, or it could be too elastic. You want it just about right, and practice is what you have to do. It's so easy. You can get your hands in there if you want. So far, I think it's going to be okay. If it's like too thin, then it's weird to roll out. Let's see what we have here. Okay, get the hands in there. Oh, this is perfect. Not quite a 1/2 cup of milk. I used whole milk, doesn't matter. All right, that's ready. I'm going to move you in a little bit for this. So sometimes I use the wax paper underneath, sometimes it's just good enough, I don't need it. I'm going to take some of the dough. This is way too much. These are tiny little things. Press it down. My mom always used the wax paper, and it seems to work really well. There, that's good. Take this off. Grab my little pie tin and put it in. You want to work it down to the bottom and then cut the edges. There. That's it. Let's make a couple more and then we'll fill some. I'll show you how many you can make with 2 cups of the dough. Put you back here. Now I will be baking one for you so you can see how long it takes from fresh. But the rest I'm going to bake tomorrow because I have a potluck. So I'm freezing them first. Alright, there we go. Push her in there. Take off the excess. As soon as my oven is heated up, these 2 are going in. There. That easy. Now, you have to watch how much juice you get in there because as you saw the blueberry, it kind of oozes over. Now, on these peaches and the apples and anything, except for the cherries and the blueberries, I cut them up into tiny pieces because you got a little pan to fill. Then I put a little sugar on top. Do the same with this one. I kind of get it out like that so I don't get too much liquid. With such a small pan, you want fruit, not liquid. Okay? I'm not putting on a top, am I? It's fruit. I don't like too much pastry on fruit. Let me do a couple more for you. It's so easy. And this is exactly what I do when I do blueberry, cherry, apple, and peach. Just roll it out. You're in my way now. There's another one I love to do, and that is pumpkin pie. People love having a little pumpkin pie. It's crazy, but I do it. I wasn't going to do it tomorrow, otherwise I'd show you, but I just make my pumpkin pie filler, do this, put the pumpkin pie in, and bake them. People love them. See that? Right there. Here's another one. Just like that. And this dough turned out perfect. Not too thin, man overboard. Not too thin and not too thick that you can't work with it. Okay, if you want, you can push the dough up a little bit if it's coming down. Now these are going in the freezer. There. Little bit of sugar. I'll put them in the freezer with the rest of them. Alright, as you can see, I got 12 little pies out of that batch of pastry dough and the not quite 2 cups of peaches. Now, I have a little secret for you. You can get about the same results buying that pastry that's the pie dough that's on the shelf in the refrigerator section and getting a can of pie filling. Go do it. Nobody, if they ask, then just say you must not be very hungry then. Now these I'm going to freeze and I'm going to make tomorrow. Soon, that one that I just put in the oven, I'll bring it out and show you all 3. Okay, here's the peach just out of the oven. Oh dear, I was going to say 25, but it might have been 30 minutes. When I can start to smell it, that's when I know it's probably done. Oh, this pie is about 5 inches across. It's another in the smaller pie tins. These are 3 inches across. Here's my apple, my blueberry, and my peach. Get your closer look. There's a closer look, and they are so good. Now this I will take out of his little tin. Let me see if I can do it there. See, it just comes right out because you've sprayed it. And then I will serve these. I'll put them in the fridge overnight, but then I will serve them. They are so tasty. Look at that. I know I had to try it. I'll probably have to finish it, don't you think? Remember, cut your fruit up small. I don't the blueberries, but the apples and the peaches I do. And remember, you can also use the dough from the shelf in your grocery store and a canned pie filler. Wow, that's a big one. That's for Marty. Give this a try. I think you'll like it. And when it gets closer to Thanksgiving, I'll show you the pumpkin pie ones. Until next time, bye-bye.